Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another Options in Play video update. We have had an amazing move higher in the market for the last few months. I have talked about this pattern in the queues a handful of times, so I'm sure this is not the first time you're seeing me highlight like this really amazing uptrend. And a lot of a lot of the commentary that has revolved around tech has just been like this kind of insatiable appetite for tech names, right? Like just higher highs, higher lows, just nonstop call buying, etc. Right? I mean, you've probably seen it reported a ton of times over like the last few months, just how tech keeps flying higher, like trillions, multiple trillions of market cap, billions of dollars of call buying, right? So it's this well-worn narrative at this point. Um, what we talked about though during the last option session is kind of the tenuous nature of the cues right here because we are very close to breaking the trend, right? We had kind of a head fake breakout, then we had a sharp drop below, and when we met last week and talked, I basically was saying that the 50-day to me is kind of like the line in the sand because we had held it then, we continued to hold it since until today, and now we're starting to potentially work on a break below the 50-day, and that to me would be the point where the trend would probably be officially broken. Okay, that doesn't mean that we can't bounce, but the trend, like this really steady trend, seems to me to be breaking. Right, so like that would be the point. If we officially like convincingly lose the 50-day, then the trend breaks. Right, and again, I mean, we could drop and then we could pop and we could keep rallying after this, but what it does is it changes the dynamic of the types of trades you're looking for, right? Or it changes maybe like the bias of like your trades or the type of strategies that you're targeting with options, right? Because when the Qs were in this really amazing trend, what we were doing was a lot of bullish trade ideas. So bullish reversals, bullish breakouts, bullish continuations, a lot of rampant to the report trades for earnings, right? Because a lot of stocks were above resistance, sectors were acting great, numbers were great, and stocks were running aggressively ahead of earnings, right? If we break the trend, then a lot of those types of patterns might not work, right? Like, because one of the highlights of the rampant to report trades is being above a bunch of resistance and having strong sector action, right? So if the sectors are acting weak, if the stocks have like a ton of overhead supply to work through, then the rampant to report style trade probably not going to be as interesting for a lot of the candidates as we get into earnings season. Also, you got to have more respect for overnight volatility, right? Because when we were in this really great trend, it like the hallmark of those is kind of like lower overall volatility from like a day to day, right? I mean, very steady action. So now we're into the period where we're getting bigger overnight gaps. So you have more overnight risk, right? So for your options, you kind of have to plan that. Also, more two-way trading. So another idea, right? I mean, just very steady uptrending tape made it tough to be make money consistently on the downside, at least sustained moves on the downside. And now you're getting better two-way action. So it again, I mean, we could roll over, we could hit the 100-day, we could snap and rebound back to the high, and that's fine. But what I'm trying to say is that there was a very definitive, a very definite game plan that we used when we were in this trend, and now if we're starting to break that trend, we have to change our game plan, right? We have to look at different trade ideas because what was working then might not work going forward. Okay, so if you start to see different types of like trade strategies, like maybe more volatility strategies, maybe calendar spreads, right? Maybe more bear put spreads, right? I mean, there'll be different types of things that work, and we just have to adjust accordingly. All right. So again, this doesn't mean that there's not going to be opportunities. It's just going to be different opportunities. So what was working a couple months ago, maybe we just got to change and look for different things that are working. All right. So it's not like the opportunity is still there. It's just different types of trades. Okay. All right. So if you like this video and you're looking for more information on option trading in a higher volatile environment, right, or option swing trading, maybe doing some like leaps, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options in play. Hope you have a wonderful night. Stay well, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.